Did you ever pause and ask yourself what life after 80 truly feels like, beyond all the cliches and age-old stereotypes? You might think wrinkles, doctor visits, and slowing down define this chapter, but the real experience cuts deeper, weaving through emotional, social, and existential landscapes in ways that can catch even the most resilient souls off guard. In the next few minutes, we'll explore 5 unexpected realities that people face once they cross into their 80s. Transformations you won't find in medical charts or fitness magazines, but which reshape how you view yourself, your relationships, and the world at large. By recognizing these shifts, you can spark new purpose, embrace clarity, and build the strength to live fully, no matter the decade. First, let's talk about the subtle contraction of your social universe. It's not a dramatic event, but a gentle fading, like watching a vibrant watercolor painting slowly bleed into pale tones. Friends who once shared daily phone calls move away or fall ill. Neighbors you greeted every morning are replaced by new faces you barely met. And family commitments whisk loved ones off into their own busy lives. The calls and visits that once punctuated your days dwindle into precious but sporadic events. And the silence that remains can feel as heavy as a winter afternoon. It's not bitterness or resentment. Simply a quiet ache, a testament to the deep human need for connection that doesn't diminish with age. In these hushed intervals, you might find yourself reflecting on years gone by. The laughter over shared meals, the comfort in inside jokes, the warmth of simple companionship. Once ordinary, those moments now glow with a richness reminiscent of treasured heirlooms. Yet in this solitude, you also unearth profound insights about love, memory, and extraordinary value of the bonds you've nurtured. What remains when the crowd thins are the connections that sustain you, the handful of souls who continue to listen, to laugh, to remember. These relationships become more meaningful than ever, and tending to them becomes both a balm and a beacon. Second, it's astonishing how minor health hiccups can snowball into formidable challenges. A sniffle that in younger days cleared up in 48 hours might linger for weeks, sapping energy and morale. A small bruise that once faded overnight may now take 2 weeks to vanish, each day reminding you of your body's diminished resilience. Even a brief misstep can lead to a cascade of doctor appointments, therapy sessions, and recovery periods that transform routine life into one of cautious planning. This isn't simply about slowing down. It's about recognizing that your body's safety net is thinned, demanding more attentive care. Missing a meal or skimping on water can trigger dizzy spells or digestive chaos. Skipping a prescribed stretch might leave muscles tighter. Yet this vulnerability carries its own form of wisdom. Tuning into subtle cues, fatigue, joint stiffness, digestive twinges, empowers you to respond proactively. It means embracing rest without guilt, savoring hydration as a ritual, and celebrating small victories. A painless morning stretch, a brisk walk that leaves you energized, a night of uninterrupted sleep. By honoring your body's current need with compassion and patience, you discover that true resilience lies not in indifference to frailty, but in nurturing the tender balance between strength and softness. Third, there's a disquieting sense of fading visibility within social spaces. Walk into a room where your voice once carried weight, and you may find conversations flowing around you as though you were an observer rather than a participant. It's not malice. Most people simply fail to notice because society is fixated on youth, novelty, and speed. Your stories, your years of experience, your well-honed perspectives can be eclipsed by the hum of the new and the next. Even loved ones, children, grandchildren, might unknowingly interrupt, finish your sentences, or talk past you, believing they're helping rather than sidelining. This quiet erasure can trigger grief, not for what was lost, but for the respect and recognition that feel overlooked. Yet your presence is far from invisible. The few who truly listen recognize that wisdom isn't measured by volume or velocity, but by depth and substance. In those moments when you speak and someone leans in, when your insight sparks a fresh perspective in a younger friend, you reclaim your voice. Remember, you may not be the loudest in the room, but you could be the most thoughtful, the one whose words resonate long after they're spoken. A gentle reminder, share that well-woven anecdote. Pause to ask a probing question. Hold your ground when your story matters. Your lived experience is a gift to any gathering willing to receive it. Fourth, life's familiar landscape begins to narrow in in ways that aren't always visible on a map. Your go-to coffee shop might shutter its doors, the handful of neighbors who kept you company move away, and the community events you once loved shift to digital platforms. Even if your spirit yearns for adventure, the logistics of transportation, mobility, and energy budget can feel more complex. The world may seem to contract around your front door, but you can counteract that shrinkage by redefining what getting out means. A virtual book club can bring together friends across continents. A short evening walk, just down the block, can kindle a sense of exploration. Inviting a neighbor in for tea can turn your living room into a salon of stories. Growth doesn't demand a passport if you open yourself to new ideas, new conversations, and new ways of connecting. In these smaller-scale adventures, you find that life's richness is measured not in miles traveled but in moments felt. The thrill of learning a new recipe over video call, the joy of mentoring a young neighbor, the spark of curiosity reignited by an online lecture. By embracing flexible definitions of community and adventure, you keep your world expansive and your sense of purpose vivid. Finally, there's a startling unpredictability of your own body. One morning, you wake with the vigor of days gone by, sharp mind, steady legs, only to feel as though the floor shifts beneath you by noon. A routine task like heating soup can leave your hands trembling, and a familiar stretch might reveal unexpected stiffness. This ambivalence can feel like betrayal. You depended on yourself for a lifetime, and now your body seems to negotiate terms without warning. Each surprise, dizziness, fleeting numbness, sudden fatigue, nudges you to re-examine expectations. The emotional toll can be heavy. Hesitation at the door, anxiety over simple errands, and a creeping mistrust of your once reliable companion. Yet amid this uncertainty, you find a powerful lesson in adaptability. You learn to plan around energy peaks, to honor rest as a strategic pause, to communicate with healthcare providers before small issues escalate. Knowledge becomes your anchor. Understanding the patterns of your body, when it thrives, when it needs reprieve, restores a measure of control. As you adapt daily routines, you cultivate flexibility not just in body, but in mind. You discover that strength is not about resisting every change, but about adjusting again, and finding new ways to move through life with dignity and courage. These 5 truths, the ebbing of your social sphere, the magnification of minor health concerns, the erasure of your presence in public spaces, the contraction of your daily world, and the fickleness of your own body, aren't meant to discourage but to illuminate a path forward. Acknowledging them isn't capitulation, it's empowerment. When you name these realities, you take the reins of your experience and choose how to respond. Maybe it's scheduling a weekly call with a friend, prioritizing hydration breaks, asserting your story in conversation, experimenting with at-home adventures, or mapping out energy cycles with your doctor's guidance. Each step you take refines your ability to live with purpose, grace, and resilience. So, which of these 5 unexpected realities resonates most with you? What's one small shift you can make right now to navigate these changes with confidence? Share your thoughts and your first actionable step in the comments below. Your insight can inspire someone else facing the same challenges. If you found these reflections meaningful, please give this video a like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe with notifications on, so you won't miss future discussions on living fully at every age. See you in the next video.